Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are like me, you've dropped into the Black Ops 6 multiplayer beta, and you're of course looking for a handful of different weapons to check out. And we have a decent offering within the beta right now. Couple of rifles, couple of SMGs, some snipers, shoddy LMGs, so on and so forth. Obviously, things are a little bit different this time around. There are a lot of weapon levels to go through on every single weapon in the beta, and it takes some time to go through and level up. So that said, today I want to sort of optimize things for you guys and break down the top 3 best weapons in the game right now, then also give you the best class setup to be running for them as well, if you're interested in just trying out the best of the best. Now that said, this is a beta at the end of the day. I would recommend going through and trying out all the different weapons as you go through and level up, and you hit level cap 20 this weekend, cap 30 next weekend. Try out the different weapons, see what you like the feel of. At the end of the day, all these weapon levels and all this progress is going to be reset at launch of Black Ops 6 anyways, but if you are looking to sort of min-max your gameplay, use the absolute best, maybe try and go for some nukes or something, or just frag out, there are a couple weapons that I definitely have my eye on. So first up here, want to go through the other part of the class setup, right? So secondary, equipment, field upgrades, everything like that. So I actually run the same stuff on pretty much every setup. In multiplayer, admittedly, a secondary is not nearly as important. Like, I have a GS45, which can actually like 2-tap in some cases. It's kind of crazy, but I don't really find myself using the pistol all that much. Usually the second I get my first kill in a life, or the second I get a close range kill on someone, I switch to my pistol, I drop that, and I pick up that enemy's weapon if it's one that I know I'm capable of using or I enjoy using, right? So if I've got a rifle or an SMG or a sniper, for instance, and I find somebody, in game, take them out and they have a sub, I'm gonna pick that up, have a nice little secondary, a backup option there. That's a lot more dependable than a pistol, of course, and everyone's got their bonus knife melee slot that you can use to run around. I usually switch to this when I spawn in, sprint super fast into the choke point, the center of the map or whatever, then I switch back to my normal gun. For tacticals, stims this year, this thing is fast. You can pop this and get back up to full health really quickly. It's not a super obnoxious animation by any means, and so this is actually really effective in my gameplay, and I've been spamming this a lot. It's definitely worth using in my opinion. Then I'm running Semtexes. This is more of a preference thing. I don't really enjoy using frags as much. Thermos are all right too, but Semtexes I've had the most success with so far. For field upgrades, you've got some options here for sure. I don't think any of these stand out a ton. Assault packs are good if you are consistently going on streaks. You want to make sure you get that extra ammo and everything. So if you're specifically going for high kill streaks, your highest score streaks, you're going for nukes, you probably want to run an assault pack. If you're more of an objective player, playing a lot of like hardpoint or dom, trophies are great, obviously. Don't really love the neurogas too much myself. And then the acoustic amp, supposed to amplify enemy audio. Footstep audio in this game is not great so far, so I've been running this just to see if it makes a huge difference. I can't say with confidence that it is night and day. I hear some footsteps, I don't hear others. I think between the acoustic amp and the assault pack, those are probably your 2 best bets. Just a matter of what you value more, that brief audio or the ammo in a life. So pick that as you need, but both of those are good. And then for my perks, I'm actually going through and using the perk greed wildcard. I think you get this at level 19 or something, and this actually allows me to have an extra perk so I can actually maintain a specialty and get something bonus as well. So for instance, I use flak jacket in perk 1. Ghost is good too if you care about staying off the minimap. I don't run suppressors on my loadouts. I don't think they're super necessary. I think you can maximize efficiency in a loadout elsewhere, so I don't really find this to be super valuable. If you are a big suppressor player, by all means Ghost is a great option here too, but I've been running flak just for my style of gameplay. Then I run dexterity in perk 2. This gives you reduced weapon motion when jumping, sliding, and diving, and you take less fall damage, which is pretty important for a guy like me who's prone to dying to fall damage. Then I use double time, which is greatly increased duration of tack sprint. Obviously a huge bonus there. And then through perk greed, I have gung ho as a bonus perk, which is reduced movement penalties when reloading or using equipment, and you can reload while tack sprinting. So I am all about movement. I'm super fast and agile on all my setups, and because I have 3 red perks, I get the enforcer specialty, which actually gives me a temporary buff to my movement speed and my health regen. So it's almost like quick fix in a sense every time I end up getting a kill. So that is a clutch element of this setup as well. well. So definitely a little bit more to your other parts of the setup outside of the weapons this year, but really efficient things, all things considered. Now let's just focus on weapons here. The first one I want to talk about is the LR762 sniper. This thing is a beast. If you are a fan of sniper gameplay, this is the go-to sniper in the beta. The one shots of this thing are incredibly consistent. Pretty much everything is a one shot unless you're hitting like lower leg multipliers, or you're getting like wall bangs and shooting someone through some cylinders or something like that. Like you can get a lot of easy one shots with this thing. So I'm currently level 25. Like I said, takes a long time to go through and level up, but luckily you can get a super efficient setup without having to max level actually all the weapons that we're talking about here today. There is one thing I would change though as you do max level, but first up here, there are two barrels I think are worth running. The gain twist, which just straight up gives you better velocity. Keep in mind, these attachments this year don't really have cons, so it's just pros, and this is better velocity, going to make your weapon feel more hit scan like. You don't have to worry about potentially missing a shot due to bullet drop, or you're there sprinting or something and you don't lead it enough, right? That said, I also think the reinforced barrel is good too. It's a little bit less velocity, but still better velocity and a little bit better damage range as well. So between the gain twist barrel and the reinforced barrel, both of those are great choices. The Ranger handguard is super clutch. This helps out with sprinting movement speed and then your general movement speed. So this being a sniper, it's a little bit slower, it's a little bit heavier. This makes it feel a lot more aggressive, and if you are someone running around and quick scoping, just going for like clips or just trying to get a lot of kills with a sniper, this is a really, really good option to run on here for some better mobility. I do also use the quick draw rear grip. This is the fastest ADS rear grip. There are some other ones that are decent, like Commando does a little bit for ADS, Ergonomic does a little bit for ADS, but I want to go in and maximize that according to this. This is the fastest, so just again more aggressive here. I also use the Infiltrator stock, which is just better strafe speed, so when you are ADSing and you're hard scoped on there, you can actually have some decent strafe, which is really convenient for a sniper. That said, if you go up to level 34, the balanced stock would be really good as well, because this is also better movement speed and a little bit of better strafe speed. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, just not nearly as fast as the Infiltrator is. You get this with like the Vault Edition blueprint, and I've been running it since the start of my leveling on this gun, and it's felt really, really good. And then lastly, I currently have the NATO overpressured, which is just better velocity, but if you go through and basically max level this thing at level 42, you get rapid fire, and this is the objective meta. It just takes you like 5 hours of using this to go through and actually unlock this, unfortunately. But if you do max level this, rapid fire on this thing just makes it even better because you can get shots off faster. So that's a huge clutch one. You absolutely want to put rapid fire on there if you can level it up to that, and you'll have the utmost meta loadout. But as you're leveling it, this is a really, really solid one until you are at that rapid fire point, and then the weapon just becomes even better in my opinion. So this LR762 is an absolute beast, would highly recommend. And by the way, as we are going through all the weapons and setups here today, if you enjoy the video, if you find it helpful, a like rating is always really appreciated. It does really help grow the channel. Much love to everyone who's shown a ton of support on the Black Ops 6 videos so far. Our very first settings video was on gaming trending for like all of yesterday. Really do appreciate all the love, all the new subs as well. And speaking of new subs, if you have not already subscribed to the channel, this is the one-stop shop for everything going on in COD. If you're looking for news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, tips and tricks, this is the place to be. I got you covered every single day, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Next up here, we've got the AK-74. This thing is a beast. It absolutely shreds. It's a low recoil rifle, and its damage is absolutely crazy. Of course, everything else is still the same on the remainder of the class setup, but here, I think you have to get to about level 30 to maximize the efficiency on the AK itself. So admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of the iron sights. So for me, I'm just using a simple reflex sight, the spot reflex that you get by leveling the AK. The Merlin Mini I know has been a fan favorite of like a lot of the top tier pro players and whatnot. You get that by getting the XM4 to level 25, but there are some decent optics here for sure. The Merlin reflex isn't too bad. The basic reflex also not bad. It's just a matter of preference here. Whatever dot sight you like, feel free to go ahead and use that, but I just don't really love the irons here all that much, especially as I'm fighting out over range a little bit more. The precision foregrip is a phenomenal choice, and you get this midway through your leveling. So better horizontal control, which is huge, just makes the weapon more predictable, and better aiming idle sway. I felt way more accurate when I was running this, and I finally unlocked it as opposed to some of these other options. Again though, if you go through and you max level this thing, the Ranger foregrip is crazy good too. It gives you better movement and better horizontal control. So if you do max this out, I might switch out the precision for Ranger, but I think both of those are good choices for various reasons. Ranger for movement and precision for accuracy there. I also go for the extended mag, just the first option here. It ups it to a 40 round mag, and I do that because I'm using rapid fire on this as well. Rapid fire is kind of like the objective meta crutch attachment, and obviously that faster fire rate means you're just going to melt through players. And when you have rapid fire on, you probably don't want the base magazine size. You do burn through ammo very quickly, so I feel like the extended mag 1 at the minimum is definitely needed. You could upgrade to extended mag 2, maybe even 3 if you wanted to. Just keep in mind you're going to be a lot slower with 3 and 2 on there as opposed to 1, which is not really all that different from just the base magazine in terms of movement and speed and everything going on there. The ergonomic rear grip also clutch here. Better ADS, slide to fire, and dive to fire. So if you're doing a lot of slide canceling, a lot of omni moving, this is a pretty clutch attachment, and a better ADS just makes it a tad bit more aggressive as well. So this thing, like I said, it's easy to use, and this makes it a lot more versatile. Speeds it up some, keeps it accurate, and you absolutely rip with rapid fire on there. For what it's worth, if you like the irons on this thing, I think you can maximize it even more by going for something like a reinforced barrel. Extends out that range a little bit more. You could use something like a stock maybe for some mobility on here too, like the balance stock would be really good as well. So you've got some options if you're a fan of the iron sights. But yeah, the AK-74 is a top tier rifle in the beta as it stands. Hey everyone, quickly want to give a big shout out to my friends over at G Fuel. If you're looking to stay energized or hydrated, look no further than G Fuel. They got a little bit of something for everyone. If you need to focus up and need some extra energy, the cans and the tubs got you covered there. And if you're just looking to stay hydrated, they've got the hydration formula as well. And of course, if you're looking to save some money, because let's be honest, who doesn't want to save a little extra cash, you can throw in code WhosImmortal at checkout and get 20 to 30% off any given item on the site. Obviously, with Black Ops 6 on the horizon, you want to make sure you're stocked up. So if you're looking to grab anything at all from the G Fuel site, check out the link down in the description below. And then to close things out, we've got, in my opinion, and I think the general opinion of the entire community, the #1 meta of the beta so far, the Jackal PDW SMG. This thing is incredible because the maps in the beta are so small. You can use this on like every single map and fry, even like the mid-range. This thing's TTK is crazy. It's got clean iron sights, whether you're using the blueprint from the Vault Edition or just the base version of the gun. Really do enjoy the irons in both variants there, so I don't run an optic. I do use the Ranger foregrip, just like over on the AK. This thing is great. Horizontal control benefits, better sprint speed, and better general movement speed. So you are flying with this thing, and it makes it easier to use. That's a win-win and absolutely a huge bonus on this setup. I do go for extended mag 1 in this case as well, and that's because once more I am using rapid fire. This thing already has a fast TTK. You throw in rapid fire, it kills even quicker. You do burn through some ammo though, so I just keep it decently fast with extended mag 1 as opposed to extended mag 2. But if you want to test out that extra 10 rounds on the 50 rounds, feel free to do so. Just know you'll be a tad bit slower than extended mag 1. I do also go for the ergonomic grip here, which is better ADS, slide to fire, and dive to fire yet again. And especially on an SMG where you're using movement to your advantage a lot, having a better slide and dive to fire, I think is pretty clutch. I found myself, instantly getting into gunfights when doing those movement mechanics a lot. Plus, you're getting a better ADS at the same time, which is a huge pro as well. Then lastly, I do like the balanced stock on here. No stock I thought was going to be the wave, but this is just helping out with your strafe speed a ton, which is nice, but balanced stock does a little bit of that plus general movement speed too. So you are able to get from point A to point B a whole lot quicker, break cameras a little bit with your movement, with omni movement mixed in there too. So this is by far my favorite setup in the beta so far, and definitely the best. Here's the thing though. With the new attachment system this year across all these weapons, you can build out a weapon so much better for your preferred playstyle. And while I do recommend these 3 setups on these particular 3 best guns right now, if you want to focus all in on control on your AK or all in on range on your AK, you can do so without having to worry about ruining your setup because you're, changing out some of the attachments I'm recommending. You're not going to hurt a gun a ton because you want to focus on one specific stat like before, where if you go in on control, well then your movement probably sucks. If you go on movement, then your control sucks. If you go on for range, then your movement sucks. Like, this attachment system is really cool, and it means that there's a lot more versatile builds than just this one that I'm recommending for these weapons, right? So definitely mess around, level these weapons up, unlock attachments. Next weekend, when the beta expands more and we get access to even more guns, we'll probably talk about a few other cool additions and some other attachments you want to take note of. But for now, that is going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful at all, be sure to drop a like. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you are up to date with everything going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.